Wake up a little sooner. There you go. See that crisis? Anybody got any hurdles you're trying to jump? Amen? So, now, be careful. Watch this. If the problem reoccurs, you're going to be better prepared to handle it for when it comes. You know, I've had crises in my life, and they come at me, and I'm going, I can't handle this, Lord. And Lord, show me how. Or somebody comes along and stands beside me and helps me get through the crisis. And I realize, oh, that's what you meant, Lord, when you said this. Oh, that's what you meant with this. And now I'm holding on. And next time I go through that same crisis, now I can handle a lot better because now I'm more better equipped. And I can help others through it. You see, sometimes you can believe trouble's going to rear its head again. You know, it amazes me that my granddaughter had just won MVP the day before the tournament. And the week before, MVP. You know what that stands for? Most Valuable Pawpaw. No, it stands for Most Valuable Player. And then we're thinking everything's cool. And then she's at bat. Swings and tears her knee up. I told her to make sure she tells all her boyfriends that. And I got such a powerful swing, I broke my own leg. So I don't look like, she says, I saw a guy passing by the other day, he had his gun on his side, he said, I don't dial 911, I dial 357. There you go. So what? You never, trouble will rear its head again. I mean, every time you think you're breathing, and trouble will rear its head again. So watch this. But if trouble does return to your house, you can take comfort because now you're so much more prepared when it comes. My boys get on me inside, I just love flashlights too much. I'm always getting flashlights. Every Christmas I give them flashlights. I try to find the best flashlights, house lights I can find. Why do I do that? Not because I just got a kick out of playing with flashlights when I was a little boy. No. It's because we've been stuck on several occasions, especially in Benson. We would go for weeks at a time without power when things would happen. We had a hurricane come through Benson, kill one of our members. People said hurricanes don't come through Benson. It did. It killed one of our members. We were without power for 2 weeks. And then when we got to Williamson, I'm thinking, well, at least now we won't have this happen again. And sure enough, a tree fell during a hurricane and took out the power line because we were on the back street. We were without power for 2 weeks again. And so I just always like to have a flashlight ready so I can at least see where, I can at least walk through the house without the power. But now I'm better prepared. Now when it goes out, it's so funny. It is absolutely funny because the power go out, and I hear them say, well, you know where the flashlights are. I know you got one. Or at Christmas time, the boys will shake the box and go, or the bag or whatever, and they'll go, oh, flashlight. And again, watch this now. Here's a scripture that's always taken in the negative, so I want you to listen carefully to this. Please listen carefully. No chastising seems to be joyful for the present, but painful nevertheless. Afterward it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. Now watch this. When we think of chastisement, we think of always negative. I've done something wrong, God's taking me to the woodshed. That's what I used to think. God's chastising me. I've done something wrong. He's taking me to the woodshed. Can you please not think of that way? That does happen. Ask DC and Daniel. When they were little. I remember one time, this one guy was talking junk. And talking junk to his wife. And I told him, I said, and this was real. He wasn't cutting up. He was talking junk to his wife. And going to hurt her because he had already hurt her one time before. And I told him, I said, son, you better back off. And he said, yeah, preacher. I said, you ain't never been whooped till you've been whooped by a preacher. And Daniel said this, he said, yeah. Yeah, bless those fellas' hearts. I used to lay them on the bed and put them across my leg, and I'd hit my leg as hard as I'd hit them, and I'd say, make a noise, boys. Come on, so you got them good that time. Yeah, I did. My leg be all bruised. No chastening is good at the present. Think about chastising as this. Training. Notice, just think about it as heavy-duty training. DC was on the football team in Bath. There were Dolphins, right? DC, it was the Bath Dolphins. Do you know, We did this for 3 years or 4 years. I don't think they lost more than, in 3 or 4 years, I don't think they lost more than 4 games. It was like 4 games in 3 years. Whatever it was. They would just mow over the guys. And somebody said, well, how do they keep just mowing over the guys? It's because in practice, we practiced harder than we played. So when they got on the field, actually, the hardest part of their week was practice. The easiest part of their week was the game. Wow. Now, if they hadn't practiced, the hardest part of the week would have been the game. Some of us are wondering why we're going through things. Or why do we have to train so hard? Because there's something coming down the road and God's trying to prepare you for it. I remember that day, I do remember that day that I was sitting there on the sideline and the head coach was in front of me, right in front of me, and they called a bad call. And when they called a bad call, I hollered out. I think DC was even involved in this. Called a bad call in DC. I'm not sure. And I hollered to the referee. I said, "Are you blind?" And the head coach was standing in front of me. He couldn't hear me. All he could hear was just doing this. And I hollered, "Are you blind?" And the referee threw down the flag and said, 10 yards. And the head coach turned and looked at me and said, "I don't know what I did. I just raised my hands." So I saw him about a couple of years ago, and I said, "Roland, come here." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Remember that day we were playing and you got that 10 yards for raising your hands?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "It wasn't for raising your hands." He said, "What was it for?" I said, "It was for that big mouth preacher behind you." He said, "Well, what did you do?" I said, "I hollered, 'Was he blind?'" He said, "That's why." DC 30 years old, and he just found out. Okay. All right, but he forgave me. No chastening seems joyful for the present. Praise God, I'm going through this. Praise God, you just talked to me. Praise God, I broke my leg. Praise God, my arm got hurt. Praise God, my feelings got hurt. Praise God that I don't understand this. No, it's God, I don't understand. God, I got to know. You got to help me. I just can't figure this out. It doesn't seem joyful at the moment, but later you'll see that God was training you for something bigger and better. Amen? Here we go. Why? Well, here's what you're going to do. And we're getting out of here. I love this. Rudy Giuliani. You know, when 9/11 happened, how he was the man? I mean, he was absolutely the man. You know, you can talk about him. I don't necessarily agree with everything he agrees with, but there's one thing I do agree with. He's a powerful leader. And I went and heard him talk. And he told me, not me, but he told us, it was really funny. We're sitting there and he goes, and on 9/11, he said, I was so intense in what I was trying to help all those workers, talking to all those workers. He said, George Bush was standing right in front of me. I didn't even see him. And he said, I was still going at it. Yeah, y'all can do this, and blah, 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 blah. And he said, there's the President of the United States standing right there going. He said, I was so intense on trying to help these people that I didn't even see the man with the plan. Wow. So he says, in times of crisis, that's when good leaders emerge. All right. George Bush even said it himself, you know, how awesome he was at 9/11 and all the things he did. And when people were scared to go back and have baseball games, scared to get back into it, the very first game after 9/11, who goes out and throws out the first pitch? George Bush. Why? He's just trying to show people you don't have to be afraid of crisis. See, George Bush said until 9/11, it was a mediocre, just every kind of day going through the presidency. He said, but on that day, things changed. And now, after 9/11, and now after people had a chance to look in retrospect, do you know that he has one of the highest ratings now? Maybe not right there at the end, but he's got it now because people realize what happened.